I knock AJ out. I deliver what I supposed to deliver years ago. I deliver what they ran from. I deliver what he asked for $50 million for. I'm going to give him a $50 million knockout.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion because no one's running. In terms of 50 million, I'm a businessman. If there was 50 million on the table, you think I'm not going to take it for a fight?
And there is Anthony Joshua responding to Deontay Wilder's promise to AJ that he would knock him out. And this was 8 months ago. Okay, so this is nothing new. This is the first time I've heard AJ review what Wilder has said and then respond to it. Because a lot of times he doesn't. He just doesn't even respond. Like he feels that, you know what, that statement doesn't even deserve a response from me. But now he is responding. Okay, so my counterpunch to that is, this was 8 months ago, so obviously this was before the Zhang knockout. So, and all the Telly Swift baby mama drama, ex-fiance stuff. Okay, so that has to be known and said. However, AJ responding to it, saying, well, you know what? I look at people and, you know, he's deluded. Okay. Or he's some kind of long time concussion. I wouldn't say that. I would say that Deontay Wilder was always in a type of mindset that he was better than a lot of people thought that he was. Obviously, you know, he thought that he was a lot better than, you know, he believed that he could knock out AJ. And I think that was the point. I think that was what gave him energy and strength. But you know, all the other stuff surrounding that, like the deals and the $50 million, that really didn't make sense when you put business behind it. When you tried to apply a business proposition to the $50 million, it didn't make sense. It was all, well, he asked for $50 million, so here you go. Here's $50 million. But the problem is, okay, well, where is the contract that shows us the stipulations about this $50 million that you claim that you have? Which it couldn't show up. It was so many issues with that. Oh, well, okay, send us the terms of the $50 million. Nah, you just got to say that you agree. Like, I mean, like, why and who in their right mind would do that? You know what I mean? Like AJ said, he's a businessman. So if you tell someone that, hey, you're offering them $50 million to fight, but you're not able to produce the stipulations, the contract that enforces the $50 million, how would they ever know it's real? You know what I mean? People would then start thinking, you know what, this is like a scam. Like people call you every day. Everyone knows now that the spammers are going in full force. And we see stuff and hear stuff that don't make sense. That's one of them. That's one of those things. It's like, hey, okay, well, look, this doesn't make sense. You know, you're telling me something, but you're not showing me anything. You're not showing me a contract that shows us or tells us, to proves to us that you have $50 million. So him talking about $50 million, but at the same time, Wilder not even mentioning the $100 million that they offered him, John Skipper of DAZN offered him. I still think it's, you know, he can't be that educated into what really went down, you know. And here's the sad thing. Wilder probably thinks that that money was real based on who said he had it, you know. And in order for him to get the money, and they couldn't produce a contract, because the contract, if a contract in terms were produced to Anthony and Deontay's side, they could either look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, they have to make a certain dollar amount before AJ gets his money. Just like all those other guys did. If you guys can remember, if we go back far enough, we know the issues that fighters from the PBC, Fox, Showtime, Al Heyman banner overall were running into. The issues they were running into was that they didn't get paid on time. And they didn't get paid on time was because they had to wait for pay-per-view revenue to come in to release funds to these fighters that they signed to make, or they signed on to make due to fighting that fight. See, they couldn't get that done is because the pay-per-view had to come in. Then they had to wait another 2 weeks, then another month, then another 6 months to get their money in. So they wouldn't get a check that they could take to the bank and it clears in 3 days. No. They wouldn't get anything like that. They were getting increments of a certain amount of money from Al Heyman because those sales either didn't do as good as they thought they were going to do, or the network had to take time to fork over the money. And a lot of times, if it's pay-per-view, the networks won't do that anyway because it's pay-per-view, because they expect us, the consumer, to pay for it. And that's exactly what happened. So they knew why they didn't want to produce that, because it would have been the same type of thing. You know what I mean? They would have said, hey, you know what? You would either had to cancel or stop your or cancel your contract, breach your contract with Sky Sports, because that's who he was with. Luda Belli explained that, right? Like, yeah, he's going to have to, they're giving him $50 million in order for him to leave Sky. Why would he do that? But then again, for them saying, hey, there was no contract involved, is besides me. But of course, let Deontay tell it. He's right across the board because he believes everything that people tell him. And my counterpunch to Deontay Wilder is don't. And the thing that gets me about Deontay Wilder is when he was there, he could have been saying this in front of AJ. That's my only problem with him. Because I understand he had his mind-altering drug session, but that did not stop him while having that, leaving that podium, and then saying, oh, well, he didn't want the money and he didn't want to take it. He could have told AJ that. Why you didn't take the money to fight me, man? Since I have you for the first time, probably ever, not ever, because the last time he saw him was in 2017. But the long time, the first time in a long time, he had the opportunity to tell AJ, like, look, listen, why didn't you take the $50 million to fight me? You should have took that money. That would have created just a windstorm of all types of buzz. But he didn't do it, and that's his fault. Don't wait and get away from that guy when you had every possible opportunity to tell that man how you felt about that man. Instead of that politician, whatever he gave AJ. That's why AJ was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to respond to that because I think that's all political. That's a politician answer. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua responding to Deontay Wilder that he will knock him out, and he refused the $50 million because he was afraid of getting knocked out. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.